Got a chance to see The Union on Netflix with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. Let's talk about it right now. Berry. Halle Berry. Right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And finally going back to work. I'm really hoping that everything starts going up now. Now that the Teamsters did not strike. That was the whole thing right now. Is that the union of the Teamsters was supposed to strike in the beginning of August, and it didn't happen. So now, by the end of August, things are starting to pick back up. So fun stuff. So also remember that we are doing Myth Lords. It is a classic monsters card game where we are doing like a deck builder where you're playing as the classic monsters. Artwork by Mark Spears. But you can check out the link below. It's a Kickstarter link because we're going to be launching in October for Halloween. And it's a very easy game to learn in 10 minutes. But anyway, you can sign up to be notified in October when we launch. And we have just about 400 people right now. It's so we're really rocking. I'm hoping to have about 500 before we actually launch. All right, so let's jump into The Union. So this is a made-for-Netflix film. It has an amazing cast. I have no idea what the budget was, but if I was going to guess, I would say the budget was close to 100 mil. And again, that's just a guess. The cast, I really like all of the cast. There's not anybody I dislike here. We have, like I said, Mark Wahlberg, Halle Berry. I like them both separate. I don't know if I like them together. Halle Berry is still sexy. She's got to be in her 50s at this point. She still looks great. And J.K. Simmons, who's probably in his 60s, is still engaging. And then you have Mike Coulter, who I just talked about yesterday with Evil. He's in here. Although, I got to say that the directing for him was over the top. I don't know why they made him over the top, but they did. And then there's other characters like Dana Delaney. I mean, she's got to be in her 60s too. She looks good too. But she has like 2 scenes. I don't even know why she's in this film. Probably because she was doing nothing and said, "Hey, yeah, let's go do something with Mark Wahlberg." And that's about the extent of that. And also, I can never say this guy's name. He's from Lost. Adewale Akune. I can't say his name. Anyway, he's lots of fun too. He's always plays like the heavy. And Jackie Earle Haley from Bad News Bears. And from Watchmen. It was good to see him in here. And Jessica DeGao, who was in one episode of The Crown, but also played the Huntress on the Arrow series, several years ago, probably a decade now. Wow. Anyway, I can't tell what the problem with this film is. I can't tell where the problem stemmed from. If I was going to guess, it's actually got 2 problems, okay? Because the Rotten Tomatoes score on both the audience and the critic score is abysmal. Abysmal. I'm talking like in the 20s. So nobody is liking this film at all. So this was directed by Julian Farino. And he doesn't do action. I think that's part of the problem, is that this guy really hasn't done any action. He did Entourage. He did The Newsroom, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That he really hasn't done Sex and the City. Get a couple of episodes of that. He's got a lot of credits for television, but nothing in the action field. I think he did Rome again. That was, a drama, and then it's directed by 2 people. Joe Barton, who I've seen, he's only got a few credits and nothing. I've not seen anything that he's done. And David Guggenheim, who did like Designated Survivor. So there's nothing here as far as these guys writing an action piece and then being directed by a non-action guy. I think it wants to be Day and Night with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise. Remember that film? And that film was lots of fun. I rewatched that movie. I must have seen it probably a half a dozen times. And I just rewatched it because it turned up somewhere. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember this movie. Let me go watch it again. And it held up. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with that movie. I only watched it like a few months ago. And it was fun. And there was chemistry between Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz at the time. And, and the way that Tom Cruise played that role was great. We had that Cameron Diaz's character was a fish out of water. And he says, like, let's go on 3. 1, 2, and he goes and he gets shot at, he runs back. And he says, you let me know when you're ready, okay? You just let me know. And then by the end, he makes her feel so comfortable in that situation that she ends up picking it up. Where here, the guy has absolutely no background in wet work or anything else, and he plays almost everything off. I mean, he sees people getting killed in front of him, he sees explosions, and he's fine with it all. I mean, there is like no reaction whatsoever. And the only reaction we see even from Halle Berry is when, in the very beginning, when her team gets killed. That's it. So even though these actors have the ability of doing parts with immense depth, there's no depth here. Just none. It's written and directed with no depth. There's just nothing. I mean, if you're just talking about some of the action and some of the parkour and stuff like that, yeah, some of that's decent. But again, there's no basis for behind. There's no weight behind it. And, and it's supposed to be funny and witty and banter, and we don't get any of that, really. That's what it's supposed to be. But when you watch it, you really don't get the feeling of that. They try to, give, some kind of romantic feelings to the two leads, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. They should have made them kiss earlier, or even in the bar, because then maybe we would have felt a little bit more. But they do the little innuendo and a little innuendo, and that's it. So we don't ever get to see that next. They even share a bed together, and we still don't see any passion there. All that we do is we see the next morning. There's a lot of missed opportunity here. I mean, they're in London. I think they're in Italy for a portion. So I don't know if they actually shot it in those locations. I believe they did shoot it in London. I don't know if they actually went to Italy to shoot. It's possible, but I kind of doubt it. I think they shot everything probably in London, or the surrounding areas of England. They had all of the pieces. They had the car chase. They had the parkour. They had the physical fight scenes. They had huge amounts of car scenes. And like I said, there's just no weight behind any of it. It's all about, I think we've seen this before, where there's a list of the agents throughout the world that are getting sold, and the thing, list was stolen. I don't know. I think that it's similar in ways to what was The Losers. I get a little bit of The Losers without the teamwork portion of it. The Losers did this a lot better. So, I don't know. It's, again, a lot of missed opportunity here. I did enjoy the action while I was watching it, but I didn't feel anything for the characters. Just nothing. I mean, are they going to get the case? Of course they're going to get the case. Is there a betrayal? Of course there's a betrayal. So it just didn't work on so many levels because it was so derivative, and we really didn't get to see anything new out of it, and the stuff that was derivative was really not. There was no, the director wasn't putting his own spin on any of it, and it was just shot, I think, for a paycheck. That's what it looks like. It does. Like, nobody really put their heart and soul into this. And I also think that Mark Wahlberg was produced this. I think I saw his name on that. So as I know that they're starting their new production company in Nevada. So I'm waiting to see what he produces out there. But because the basic storyline is that their team gets killed off in the very beginning, and which we've seen before. I mean, we saw it at Mission Impossible, the very first Mission Impossible. And that had a whole lot more weight because Tom Cruise was left by himself. He had to figure out where the mole was, who the mole was, and the only way to do that was to steal the thing what everybody wanted and then sell it so that he could pull the people out, the bad guys out. Where here, they had to do an auction. They had to get an auction, but they ended up getting to a fight scene, so he loses the phone of the auction. So now they had to go and find another phone. But I don't know how that happened. How did they find these other people that were supposed to be anonymous? I have no idea. Even after I watched the film, I can't tell you. And then they have to track down the person putting on the auction so that they can steal the case back that has the file in it. That's it. That's it. That's the whole movie. There's not much there. So, and I wish there was, and of course they set it up for a sequel, of which I will be surprised if there ever will be one, because I don't really like what they did with Halle Berry's hair. I'm tired of the shaved side and then a different color. It's weird because she's obviously an older woman now. She's 55 years old and she's wearing this very strange, Gen Z haircut. I don't know. It didn't work. It just didn't work, especially with her being like a spy. That would make her stand out like anything. It's like, she's being half Storm here with having the white hair. I don't know. It didn't work. I'm just letting you know. All right, well, that's it for me. I kind of agree with everybody. It's below average, unfortunately. It had pieces that I would love to have to work with, but there was just nothing there for them to work with. There was no script. There was no internal struggle, no nothing. He gets trained in like 2 weeks, I think he says. So he gets trained to be a spy in 2 weeks. Wow. I hope there's nobody from the CIA watching this saying, I wish I could learn this in 2 weeks. Whatever. But yeah, so that's the story. So I'm going to give it probably a 4, and I'm probably being generous. Anyway, it's free if you want to watch it on Netflix and see some of the actors that I like to watch. That's about the extent of that. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it if you watched all the way through. Remember to give me that like, give me that thumbs up if you can. And if you can subscribe, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. It's free. Why not? And also check out the link below for Myth Lords Classic Monsters card game. Because, again, we're going to be launching in October, where you get to play monster versus monster, and you take over locations, and you build your little monster army with the bride and the mummy and all stuff like that. And the link below will give you, if you sign up, it'll give you a notification about when we launch. And, again, we have about 400 people. All right. And it comes with little figures, like here's Frankenstein. And it comes with little figures. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Check out some of my other videos that'll pop up as well here at the end. And thanks again for watching. Have a great week. Bye-bye. It'll pop up as well. Bye-bye. It'll pop up as well.